Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ plus story for today. I'm Edward Otto Zelke, and let's queer up entertainment. SNL Breathtaking 50th anniversary pokes fun of its problematic gay history. The 50th anniversary special for Saturday Night Live brought back some of the most memorable cast and members and skits from its 939 episode history. Since the first episode in October of 1975, SNL has made much fun of pretty much everyone. In a special segment hosted by Tom Hanks, the show called out some of its more problematic skits. In his opening monologue for the skit, he said, quote, "As we celebrate the achievements of the past 50 years, we must also take a moment to honor those we've lost. Countless members of the SNL family taken from us too soon." I'm speaking, of course, about SNL characters and sketches that have aged horribly. But even through these characters, accents, and let's just call them ethnic wigs, were unquestionably in poor taste. You laughed at all of them. He went over racist skits like Rob Schnieder in brownface from his Mexican Stereotype skits, as well as skits like sexualization of underage character Hermoine from Harry Potter as played by Lindsay Lohan. They also featured the gay panic skit of Chris Kattan as Gay Hitler. Of course, gay fans loved a special skit featuring the viral character Domingo, a suave Latin man who has repeatedly appeared in skits where he seduces character Kelsey and leaves her husband Matt bewildered. At a vow renewal for Kelsey and Matt, Domingo crashes the party with his two hunky brothers played by Pedro, Pascal, and Bad Bunny. In a twist, it turns out that Renaldo, played by Pascal, is actually Matt's ex-lover, a revelation that sent the internet into a frenzy. I just love these type of stories. This SNL has always been somebody that's a program that's always kind of pushed the barrier a little bit. And, you know, when you're on that long for 50 years, you know, and in a comic show, you know, you see the evolution of comedy. And, you know, back then, 50 years ago, things that were funny are very inappropriate today. You know, you look at even TV shows, you know, some of the storylines are just very cringeworthy. And, you know, I look at myself when I first, and the things that I thought were funny back then, and I cringe at some of the things that I used to laugh at too. So, you know, kudos for them to point that out, because, you know, you could easily gloss over it and say that didn't happen or that was in a different time frame and stuff. But, you know, they kind of put it forefront for that way that they acknowledge the fact that it's something that it's evolved from them in terms of comedy. But I'm just very happy that it's a great skit, and it's all in good fun for the most part.
I love that they're having a bunch of it's 50 years of SNL, so they have a bunch of documentaries and stuff like that on streaming, which are always interesting to watch. But it reminds me, like you said, of things that maybe were funny back then and they're not. You know, my wife was watching All in the Family the other day, and I was like, oh my God, what? They put that on TV? Like, holy crap, you know. Wow. But you know, us gays are always going to be the butt of the joke, right? And how funny is that? Ha ha, homo, great. You know, laugh about that. You know, I will mention a parody that really I took note of over the years was Pat. I don't know if you ever heard about Pat.
Yes.
So Pat, you know, you didn't know if they were a she or a he. They were a non-binary character, but they were never acknowledged as a non-binary character. So I personally thought it was very derogatory towards gender non-conforming folks and non-binary people, you know, but it was a very popular skit. It was very popular. You know, Julia Sweeney got many attacks, you know, from our community for playing that role. And something that she had said in a very recent interview was that now she has met with 10 trans comedy writers to bring the role back.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Okay, that's a different swing. All right, you want to make me laugh with some of the shit you used 10 years ago in a better way and still include me? I'm in. Right. And be, you know, not rude to our community, you know, all about it. I mean, you know, that's 50 years.
Right.
You know, so
I think it's a great thing, you know, and sometimes we can be so uptight about certain things, you know, like there's who is it coming from, you know, is what is the joke intended to and whatever not, you know, I feel
brownface, Raul.
Yeah, but you laughed at it.
I did.
But you know, what we're laughing at sometimes is the absurdity of it. You know, when you referenced All in the Family, you take a character like Archie Bunker, who will just say just about anything. I had an aunt like that growing up too. So I know exactly when you just speak whatever it is that's on your mind, and it could be racist and whatever it is that you're saying, and they're just in the moment, and you find that so funny. But you know, you as you get older, you evolve and you realize, you know, people have feelings and people come from different places, and not everybody's going to find that funny, and that's not everybody's story. So, you know, and that comes from becoming a human and having more of a heart as you get older.
So you got to find that balance. Like Raul said, you can't not take it personally, but also respect the craft, right? Respect the comedy, respect that they, for 50 years, have been trying to make all different kinds of people laugh. It's got to not be the easiest thing.
And also don't give so much importance to certain things that do not deserve it. You know, if a joke, sometimes we make famous certain things that do not deserve to be famous. You know, just because certain things don't deserve our attention.
All that attention.
You know.
Although you think about, I mean, I think about this time frame because unfortunately I'm from that time frame. But anyway, think of cartoons.
Yes.
Think of Bugs Bunny. Think of the racism that was
awful.
Fake and, oh my God, yes, as a child that we lived through.
And Bugs Bunny we even did drag. Anyway,
and
all of them did.
All of them.
And kissed people.
And we lived through that, and that was entertainment.
Son and Barney Rubble. I mean, come on.
We all knew Betty and Wilma were together.
Well, okay. My point.
So that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing